Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to start this closing speech with a big thank you to Nigel Farage for all his hard work over the past 3 years. Thank you, Nigel. And if I was to tell you now that there is a poll going on at the moment on Conservative Home, which is the most popular Conservative website, which the poll is about who would you vote for in Buckingham, Nigel Farage or John Bercow? I am telling you now, Nigel has 60% of the votes. Well, I've done lots of interviews today, and the same question keeps coming up. Why do UKIP stand in local elections? Sorry, European elections. Why do you bother? You don't believe in the place. So why do you bother standing? Why do you bother putting up candidates? And the answer I always say is, well, we know we're not going to get out of the European Union via the European Parliament. But what the European elections give us the opportunity to do is to build momentum. And I go back to 2004, ladies and gentlemen. And Nigel touched on it earlier on. We had a fantastic result in 2004. We really did. We finished third. We beat the Liberal Democrats. But we went to sleep in the summer. We patted ourselves on the back. In fact, the conference in 2004, for those of you who were there, was called the Celebration Conference, which sort of epitomised everything which was wrong. It was a pat on the back. Well, this conference is about building on success, because what we're trying to say here at Southport is, yes, we've done well in the European election, but what we must do is transform those people who voted for us in the European election into general election votes next year. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't rest on our laurels, and that's why there will be a UKIP membership drive, which I can announce today. The NEC have given us the power and have given us the resources. In fact, they've given us £1,750, and there will be a prize for the branch who can recruit the most new members by March the 1st next year of £1,000. There will also be a second prize of £500 and a third prize of £250. That money is vital for your general election campaign. And let's get our membership back up to at least 20,000 by March the 1st next year. I'd also like to point out, as a result of this, Alan Bown, great old Alan, has offered to pay for 1 million leaflets, to produce 1 million leaflets for us, to get those leaflets out, to get them through the door. Let's have a round of applause for Alan. The press seem to have missed, for me, the most important statistic of June the 4th. You know, they talk about the European election result, and it was great, don't get me wrong, 17%, up 1% from last time. But the figure which really interested me on June the 4th was our local election results. In 2004, we secured 5% in the county council elections. In 2009, that was 16%. That is progress, and that is proof that people are willing to vote for UKIP in domestic elections. And we must ensure that those people who voted for us on June the 4th do not drift back to the Lib Lab Con. But why would they want to? Because the other parties are proven chances. They can't be trusted with your money. But what do we need to do to keep those voters? Well, let me just tell you about something I'm going to do quickly in the North West. I'm going to roll out a new campaign, Politics to People campaign. Why? Because European politics is far away. Nobody knows their MEPs. Well, what I'm committing to do is before the general election next year, I will hold a surgery in every single constituency in my region. That's 75 meetings. Not only that, they just won't be normal surgeries where you go along and you meet your MEP or your MP. I will hold those surgeries in the local pub. I'm a normal guy. Let's sit down, have a beer, and let's show them that politicians can be real people. You know, if we're going to keep these voters who could drift back to the Lib Lab Con, we need a radical manifesto. A manifesto that will appeal to all types across the political spectrum, old Labour and traditional Tory alike, because they want the same things, you know. They want strong but sensible immigration policies. They want freedom from crime, which blights our communities. They want education by ability and not postcode and wealth. And they want independence for our great nation. How can we succeed? Well, as Nigel said earlier, we're now a united party, more so than ever before. It's taken a lot of hard work, and as chairman, I've been at the forefront and I've seen it firsthand. It's been painful, but it's been worth it. A professional party with a competent NEC at its head, which will lead from the front, but will consistently be listening to the grassroots. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, it's down to you. So, go out, deliver leaflets, write letters to your local press, man petition stands on cold Saturday mornings, because, ladies and gentlemen, we've got that momentum in our hands. Don't let it fall away again. You owe it to your party, but most of all, you owe it to your country. Thank you very much.